Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. If you're a somewhat regular viewer, then you can already tell that I'm not starting my videos in the usual place where I start them sitting down in my room. I'm currently outside of my local library. The first reason for that being that I have some materials that I have late fees on, but thankfully once I return the things that I have due, the late fees go away. But also because this week, this year, the start of this series that I'm going to be doing that I'm going to tell you about in just a second, I felt it deserved a little bit of a more dynamic, a little bit more of an aesthetically stimulating background. So that's why I'm here right now. And when you hear the word series, you're probably asking yourself, like, are you going to be a vlogger now? The answer to that question is maybe. I don't know, but I know that for the foreseeable future, at least for like the first couple of videos that I want to do in this like weekly series, they might be in the format of a vlog. Once I tell you what the series is about, which I'm sure you already discerned from the title, then you understand that maybe not every week will be a vlog, but will be a sit-down video, a discussion, etc., etc. To give you a very quick rundown, the whole point of me starting the series and vlogging is, number one, that I signed a contract with my brother that every week starting January 1st, so today is Friday, January 2nd, so starting yesterday, every week from Thursday to Thursday, I need to post 2 pieces of content. Otherwise, I owe him $100 a week. And I don't know about you, but I'm not paying nobody no money. So number one, I'm here. Number two, I want to be here, but the contract is just a way, I guess, of like lighting a fire under my ass. So that's what we're doing. But also at the tail end of last year, I ended up buying a book that was meant to sort of be like a 12-week program. I'm going to tell you right now. And that book is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And I bought this book because at the tail end of last year, I was really entering like a period of reflection, a period of wanting to be more active in my life, in my creative endeavors, in just my goals in general. But unfortunately, or maybe not unfortunately, I had to basically go one-track mind on finishing school. Thankfully, I've graduated with 2 degrees, and I also was focused on finishing my first ever internship, which ended up really well, really beautifully. Made some good connections there, did some good work. And now that now that winter break has happened, I'm going to be working part-time for maybe like a month or 2 while I secure a full-time position for myself, but also not having to worry so intensely about those 2 very, very big and important things. It's giving me a lot more time to put that into creative endeavors such as this right now. It's also giving me more time to work on my business. And when I bought this book originally, which I guess is what I was trying to say earlier, I bought the book and I had timed everything perfectly. Like the time the book arrived, when I was supposed to do each week, it was going to end on December 31st, but as I said, I didn't have time to. And now starting it here, it'll end around my birthday. So by the time I'm 22, hopefully I will be a more creatively recovered person. I don't want to keep you much longer, but basically this book is basically like a crash course, or sort of like a guide to reconnect with yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, in terms of your creativity. And I feel like for a long time I have not been the most creative, the most inventive, so I thought it would be a very good thing. I've seen so many artists that have become successful on a large scale, on a small scale, say that this book is like life-changing. So I'm very excited to start that. I think that at the end of every vlog, like, I'll do some takeaways, because essentially each week you're supposed to go on an artist date with yourself. So it doesn't have to be paid, it doesn't have to be expensive, but you go on an artist date with yourself and you do something that helps you foster your creativity in that week. There's also prompts, readings, manifestations that you have to do. And I guess like each week, like, I'll show you as I do my artist day. I'm not doing morning pages. Basically, there's this thing called morning pages where every morning you wake up and you do like a stream of consciousness writing, and it has to be 3 pages handwritten. I'm not doing that, but maybe I'll do a nightly journaling, a weekly journaling, or maybe like a weekly reflection at the end of each vlog. And basically I just wanted to tell you all those things. This intro is very long, but maybe later when I have time, I will sit down and basically go a little bit deeper into why I'm doing this. But for now, I'm gonna go into the library. I'm going to do some work because I want to make a sort of like more involved TikTok tomorrow, but I need to have some like aesthetic things made for that. I also want to write a different kind of like motivational TikTok that I want to do, but also I need to return this stuff because I owe these people money. But yes, I'm also going to dinner with my friends later, so I'll vlog some of that and maybe we'll touch base again later. Not tomorrow, but later. It is like 11:30 on Wednesday. I started this vlog last Friday and I have done absolutely nothing in regards to this book, in part because I did have an emergency Friday night, and then Saturday and Sunday I was just like very busy, like doing general life things, but still Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've done absolutely nothing. And when I was thinking about why I just was not gravitating towards picking up this book despite saying that I did, and that this vlog was supposed to happen in the first place, in this reflection and this chapter, just like how I promised, I realized that I was spending a lot of time on my phone. And even though I know that I said in my previous video that I haven't been working, I'm still going to start working next week. And one of my major goals this year has been to reduce my screen time. And so like seeing myself like use my phone so much like fill me with sort of like sense of like anxiety, like, oh my god, like there's so many things that I could be doing instead of being on my phone right now. But then I would just stay on my phone. But not to say that I haven't been productive. I have been extremely productive. I've been working on my online stores. This month has been the best sales month that I've had in a long time, both in sales and in profit. I've had 5 sales, but they've been pretty good sales, so it's been a pretty good month. I've been very productive, but I feel like I haven't been productive enough. And to add on to that, I am not a very big believer in persevering in spite of, I don't believe in that shit, because why would I give anybody the satisfaction of having them tell me, oh, you're never going to do something, or you're never going to be something, and then I do it because I need to prove them wrong. I don't need to prove anybody wrong, but I need to do good on myself. And one of like my convictions and one of my goals for this year is to persevere despite the circumstances. Whether I have nothing going on or the world is falling down on my shoulders, I feel like I need to have the conviction to stick to what I say and be a man of my word. Tomorrow is Thursday, so that means that the timer resets. So starting tomorrow, Thursday, I have to plan, record, edit, and post 2 pieces of content. This will be one, which is going to come out on Sunday. I still have to edit the other piece, but for the rest of the night, I'm going to hunker down and I'm going to read the entirety of chapter 1 of The Artist's Way. I literally have nothing else to do. I'll do a little montage of like the vibe that I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna put some classical music, I'm gonna light my candle, organize my room, clean it up, do my skincare, you know, do the whole night. And then tomorrow you will join me as I do my artist date, which I'm gonna tell you in the morning because I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna work right now. I'm gonna sit down, read, and you are going to enjoy my night with me. Hello. So it is currently the next day around 3 p.m. I'm about to go on my artist date for the week. But before I'm able to do that, I was just making sure that everything that I had bought in the last few days and I needed to take pictures of and list was listed. So all of that's in my car and ready to go. Today was laundry day, so I was making sure that all of the clothes is being put away correctly. And now that all of that's done, I'm going to go on my artist date. And this week, you and I are going to go thrifting. Now, to make it abundantly clear, you do not have to spend money to go on an artist date or to fulfill your creativity. You can do a lot of things for free. You can sit home, do an artist date, light a candle, get yourself a little glass of wine if you're 21 and up, and just draw while you have your favorite movie playing, your favorite show playing, da-da-da-da-da-da. But myself, I don't want to do that this week. So I want to go thrifting because one of my main priorities this year is to work on my wardrobe and work on like my outer presentation. I used to be Mr. Put It On. When I would step outside the house, every outfit was a hit. Even though they were a little out there, a little kooky, every outfit was a hit. So I want to go to the thrift stores. I might not even buy anything, but I always like to go. And I always find something that like inspires me. I'm like, ooh, I could find something like this. Or actually that reminds me of this and that reminds me of this. And then, you know, you start getting things together. And as I mentioned in my last video, I do want to get more into like fashion design and learning things like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And another update is that yesterday I ended up reading chapter 1 of The Artist's Way. Like I said I would. I had already read most of the chapter before, but then I sat down and read it and I was like, this is it. Not in a bad way, but it's like I had been avoiding it so long because I was like so intimidated by it. But I literally read it in like 15-20 minutes, and they do make some very good points in this chapter. And the chapter is called Recovering a Sense of Safety. And basically the chapter is just saying that so many people who want to be creative sort of turn away from creativity because they don't feel nurtured or supported in life to be able to pursue anything creative or to engage in creativity. And I've definitely felt that. But one of the things that it was very big on saying was that a lot of us tend to create shadow artists. And essentially what that is for most of your life or all of your life, you have been so cut off from the arts world, but deep inside, you still want to be a part of it somehow, that you get a job in something adjacent to it, which is exactly what happened to me. I wanted to go to film school. I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be a creative director and do all of these things in a visual medium, but things happened. I wasn't able to do it, so I went to school for marketing, and eventually I'd like to move into the entertainment space. But when I saw that, I was like, damn, bitch, is this play about us? And it really got me thinking. And when I was like thinking about this project as a whole and it being like 12 weeks and 12 steps, it really reminded me, and I don't mean this in a shady way or in a bad way, it just reminded me of like AA, like, or like Narcotics Anonymous, like people that are basically struggling with an addiction of some sort. And I guess like the vice or the addiction here could be shutting yourself off creatively. So between me and you, I, Julian's Online, have not been creative for many years, which for me is something that I have known and have been able to readily admit for so long. But I know that for so many other people, it really does hurt, and it really does like sort of like take a lot of willpower and a lot of like reflection to really say, I have not been applying myself to my dreams. I haven't been applying myself to my goals. I haven't been applying myself to this thing that I love so much. So while that is very big for other people and it may not be as big for me, I do recognize the importance of that. And I don't want to make light of people that struggle with addictions. Obviously, that's not what I'm doing. It's just like a light joke to be in light fun. So please don't get mad at me. But that really got me thinking about how much I neglected my ambitions and the things that I wanted to do. And now it's just like in your face, right? But it's what they say, you can't solve a problem until you know or admit that there's a problem. So that's a very good first step. And I think later tonight, I want to script out 2 videos, 1 TikTok and 1 bonus YouTube video that's going to come out the Wednesday after you're seeing this. And I'll also work on some of the writing prompts that are here, because it really does want you to reflect and find out why you haven't been creative for so long. At least this week. I don't know what's coming in the next weeks, but that's what this is for, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go to the thrift store now. I'm gonna take you with me, and if I find anything, I'll show you in the clip and I'll give you a haul when I come back. See you then. Hello, welcome back to the Chamber of Reflection. I wanted to finish this video outside the same way that I had started it, but things didn't go according to plan. That's okay, we're here. My photo booth still isn't working, so we're still rocking the beautiful screen recording. But I want to start this off by saying that this video almost did not come out. I'm finishing this literally a couple of hours before it's supposed to be exported and uploaded onto YouTube. But instead of falling back into that old habit of creating something, almost having it to completion, not liking it, and not posting it, this book right here is showing me not to do that and to just go through it anyway. Coincidentally, the part that I ended up reading for the first time this year ended up being the part that relates most to this section of the video. And that is that whenever we are starting to connect with our creativity again, when we're starting to connect with ourselves again, when we're not immediately 100% good at something, a superstar, we pretty much do not allow ourselves the time to be bad. Essentially, I mean, I don't want to knock myself down, but I don't think this is a good video or a video up to the caliber that I know that I can produce. But that's okay, because I haven't done this for many, many years. I was very busy this week. There were a lot of different moving parts going on. And I know I said I'm going to persevere despite the circumstances. So no matter what's going on, there's going to be one of these videos every single week. And I really have to be comfortable with allowing myself to not make something that's going to be a 10 out of 10 caliber, or if you also make YouTube videos, a 1 out of 10 every single time that you post a new video. That is unrealistic and completely antithetical to what this book is trying to say. And that part really stuck with me. And once I thought about like why I didn't want to make this video, that's when I knew that that's when I had to post it. because through the last year and in starting this project, I do see that my creative process in terms of seeing the world around me and combining all of the different influences and the things that I know into something new, into something that is unique to me, that part's back. But the part that is probably the most broken and needs the most repairing is the creative process of actually creating. I'm a person that's very conceptual. I always have a concept, an idea, a title for an article, a title for a video, a title for a series, but I never go through with putting that thing out there. And I've made multiple videos on this before that actually never got posted, so I guess going back to this. But I remember I used to make these videos and I used to get so, in a way, upset with myself and really tell myself, like, what are you doing? Like, no one's gonna take you seriously, this and this and this. And at the same time, when you look back, I only had what, 100 subscribers? The 100 subscribers that know me front to back, top to bottom, around the town, upside down, are not gonna understand what I'm trying to do. And even if it's not good, why is that so hard for me to process that something that I make might not be good? I'm a perfectionist at the end of the day, and I don't feel bad saying that. I don't think it's a bad thing to want to put out good work, but I do think it's a bad thing to have that want to put out good work stop you from creating any work at all. So I guess this book is working in its own way, and it's really making me like face not the fear, but the sort of hesitation and the negative factors that were impeding me from being creative all of these years. At first, I thought, like, oh, this book isn't doing anything. I already read this months ago. No, ma'am, Pam, it's working. And I think a very big thing about this book is that it's not really about shifting blame or putting blame on anybody, but it's more so about taking the responsibility and taking control of your own destiny. So don't be mad at yourself if you get mad that you make something bad. Just be comfortable with making something bad. And you know what? I'm at peace with that. And I also have to remind myself that, like, I'm me, so like no matter what, I'll just frame the promotion of this video a different way. There were a lot more talking and yapping clips, but I still think I had things of substance to say. So it might not be like an active vlog, da 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 da, but it'll be like you're on FaceTime with a friend, you're on FaceTime with me. I mean, we're pretty close right now. You literally see my photo booth, my hair after the shower. Like, it doesn't get any closer than this. But I'm very excited to continue week 2 of The Artist's Way. I don't even know what the second chapter is called, but we're gonna find out next week in next week's vlog, because next week's vlog, I promise, it's gonna be a little bit better. But I'm very excited to continue this project. I feel very appreciative of the material in chapter 1, even though in the beginning I was kind of like being a little bit dismissive of it, but it ended up working and it's making me face, I guess, the fear. I'm super excited to start chapter 2 and to give you guys a new vlog next week. Hopefully, like I said, that bonus video will be coming out on Wednesday. It's not really a complicated video, so I should be able to film it in one day and edit it in another day. So nothing too crazy. But yes, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this process and growing with me. There are going to be some growing pains, but trust me, it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. So thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like. And if you want to follow along for the rest of the series, be sure to subscribe because it's free. Anyways, that's what's been on my mind recently. This format is actually helping me out a lot. Like, I feel very like level-headed recently. So I'm going to keep doing these, and I'll see you all next week with a new video. Bye.